So today, what I want to talk to you about is your client's biggest problem. If your client has a massive problem, then you're going to be able to sell a website to that client if your website can solve the problem. But the reality is, if your client doesn't have a big problem to solve, then you've got a big problem because you're not going to be able to sell them a website at a price that actually makes sense for you and makes sense for them. The problem today I see with web designers is that they are selling websites to people who don't even realize they have a problem that that website can fix. And web designers go in and they're always about, hey, what do you need? Like, I can build whatever you want. Or it's like, oh, do you want a 4-page website or a 6-page website? Do you want a logo with that? Would you like an About Us page? And what would you like on the About Us page? These are all standard things that clients don't see a lot of value in. When you start counting websites by how many pages that you build, you have a real problem. You're not solving a problem. And what will happen is that the only differentiator between you and your competitors is price. But if your client has a big problem and you focus on that problem and you show them how your website can solve that big problem for them, they will pay whatever you ask. They will see value in what you do, and they will be more committed to following through with you as opposed to one of your competitors. But do you chase clients with big problems? Or do you chase clients with little problems? And I think many of you are chasing clients with little problems. Now, I know that pretty much every company has a big problem that they're trying to solve. It's pretty easy as a web designer. It's an amazing industry. There are problems that our clients need solving and we can solve it. But have you connected the dots? Have you figured out what that big problem is? And you know what, in this video, I'm not going to tell it to you. If you message me, I'll tell it to you, right? If you reach out to me, I'll tell it to you. If you, no, I'm not going to do it if you do it in the comments because then everyone gets to see it. If you really care about the big problem, that if you mention this problem to a client, that I know you can hook them, you can get their attention. If you really care, message me on Facebook, right? Email me, find me on LinkedIn and ask me and I'll tell you that. But if you can't do that, then you're not serious about solving big problems, okay? So this has been the number one reason why I have been able to be so successful building websites and why I have no competitors. I don't care about the person building a 4-page website for $1,000. I don't compete with that person. I don't care about the person that lives in another country to me that's living standard is much cheaper and they can charge cheaper. And they do great work, but I can't compete with them. Because the reality is, what I do is very different to what they do. Because most people in that position, or who are selling, even in my own country, 4-page websites, 6-page websites, built on themes and WordPress, and they talk about tech all the time, it's because they don't know what the problem is. And so when you know what the client problem is, it's so much easier. So I'll give you another tip. When you choose a niche, or a niche, as you Americans say, choose a niche with a big problem. Don't choose a niche with a little small problem. You will struggle for the rest of your life. I have done lots of advertising in my career on Facebook, and I can tell you, whenever I nail the problem and I describe that problem for the client, the leads flow in and the appointments flow in and the sales flow in. But when I'm kind of just mucking around and I'm just talking about myself or the business I'm working with, and we're not really nailing the problem, it's hard, it's stressful. It is difficult to generate an income from the marketing, no matter how good the marketing. If you don't hit a pain point, or a big problem, you're always going to struggle. So I hope that inspires you and shows you a different way to sell, and makes you realize that, hey, I could charge double and triple what I charge now if I solved a big problem that a client really needs solved today. So, and my challenge to you is reach out to me on Facebook Messenger, connect with me on LinkedIn, message me, email me, whatever you can do to find me. I will not give you the answer publicly because that means everyone else who doesn't care gets the answer. But if you do care enough to message me, I will tell it to you, and I can tell you it transformed my life. What is the big problem most clients need, and how do you address that problem in a way where you can prove that your website can solve that problem? All right, my name's Marlon Marisha. I run a Facebook group called The Profitable Web Designer. Check it out if you're a web designer. We are building profitable businesses in that group. It's free. I look forward to seeing you on the inside.